Good morning, everybody. Hey, it is Wednesday, November 9th. Hope your week is going well. Um, Election results are not all in. I mean, Florida's all in, but not the rest of the country. So the markets, they're a little scattered this morning, trying to figure out what's happening. We'll talk about that more when Dave joins us here in just a second. Before he does, though, let's remember that the only thing that you can really control when it comes to your retirement is how much risk you have in your portfolio. But you have to know how much risk you need to have in order to get it right. Give us a call, 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement analysis, where we'll analyze your retirement accounts to make sure you're on the track for your retirement. Hey, with that, we got Dave coming up next.
9.7 Light FM. Normally, this time of the morning when we go to finances, I have a pretty good idea what's on Phillip Statler's mind. However, this morning he and I were talking politics. So what financial news he's got handy, I'm not even too sure of, but we both have pretty well solved all the world's political problems. And we don't particularly like what they're doing to Wall Street at the moment. That's what we're supposed to be doing here, and that's what we're going to do now because Phillip is on the line from Statler Financial Services. Good morning, sir. I told you I was up very late watching the election returns and going, what the heck is going on? I would imagine you spent a little time looking at them yourself, right?
I did, but I went to bed way earlier than you did, my man. So I'm just going to say that there's still some uncertainty, and too much uncertainty right now. Not setting the markets in a tailspin, but definitely not what we've seen the last 3 days.
Yeah, that's true. One thing we were saying yesterday, and it's a truism that holds no matter which party is swinging back and forth, Wall Street does not like uncertainty. And there are so many races that haven't been finally decided yet. We don't know for sure who's going to control the Senate. We don't know for sure who's going to control the House. And it looked to me like really Florida was the only state that Republicans did what everybody expected them to do. The rest of the country, pretty much it was a dead heat between the Republicans and the Democrats all darn night, and that's the kind of junk Wall Street does not like to see.
You're right. They don't. Especially when the expectation was that the wave was coming. Yeah, the wave made it to Florida, but it didn't get out of Florida, it doesn't look like. So that's just not as good a news as we had hoped for.
Yeah, Republican waved my left butt cheek. It wasn't even a ripple last night across the nation. Florida was about the only state in which the Republicans did what they were supposed to be doing. Net result, just to bring us up, yesterday there was optimism for a split government, and again, to reinforce, Wall Street money doesn't really care whether it's Democrats or Republicans in charge because money can find other money to make more money, regardless of which investments are most optimal. But when you don't know, that's scary. We were up yesterday because we thought we knew. As a matter of fact, a 333-point jump in the Dow was almost a darn good day. Then we found out we don't know a doggone thing about who's in charge in Washington, and we're looking at a little red ink this morning, aren't we?
We are. Yes, we are definitely going the other direction. Unfortunately, we've had 3 great days, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And now today, with some of the uncertainty out there, we've got some red out there, and not crazy red, but still enough to be a little unsettling.
Yep, and the economic news that we get this morning, well, there isn't a lot of it. The only thing that really came out was the Mortgage Bankers Association mortgage application rate. Seasonally adjusted, it was down 0.1% from the month before. It was down a full 2% when you don't adjust it. The number that really hit me was that the purchase index was down 41% from last year. We've been talking about how increased mortgage rates have been doing a number on the housing industry and the housing sales nationwide anyway, even though from what I hear, we're still selling houses fine around here. But nationally, yeah, we got a problem on the housing market, don't we?
We do. It is starting to slow down. Even around here, it's stuff staying on the market a little bit longer. So it's selling, but it's a little bit longer in that process. So
yeah, my real estate friends are basically telling me, yeah, I can move your house. This time it's going to take me a couple of months, much like normal. Instead of one of those things, the sign goes up in the yard, and within 20 minutes you got an offer on the place. Those days are gone for the moment.
Exactly, they are. And so, we continue to watch real estate, and we know real estate is going to continue to be an issue Matter of fact, I don't know if you want to go to earnings, but DR Horton reported, and they're a major home builder, and they missed on both areas, top and bottom line, for this last quarter. So, and they're not. So get this, you always like this, right? They're not providing any guidance due to the housing market uncertainty.
Boy, when you start getting big tickets like that, that generally is an industry where you got a pretty good beat on what the future looks like.
Exactly. So they closed down yesterday 2.5%. Right now they're trading down another 2%. So it just gives you an indication of the slowing nationwide of the housing industry.
Absolutely. Before, I only had one other headline that I wanted to bring up. Like I said, we were talking politics, so I didn't know what each of us came armed with this morning. Talk about inflation, car insurance prices. Has your auto insurance gone up in the last year?
I don't guess I pay enough attention to it to know.
Mine did. Car insurance nationally is up 17% since 2020. So just to add it into the hopper of things where prices are going up, you got to pay more to insure your car. Mine is up by about that percentage. I haven't had a speeding ticket or an accident in 20 years.
Mine's not up that much. Mine's not up. I know it's not up that much for sure. So that's if it's up, it's up a tinge, not no 17%.
Well, we'll have to compare notes on which company. Mine's up a lot. Earnings season does continue. We talked about DR Horton. Any other high points on the quarterly reports?
I'm afraid I can't really find much in the way of high points. So we'll just have to deal with some low points today, Dave. Walt Disney reported, and they missed on all areas, top and bottom line, of their estimates for this past quarter. Their profits hit hard from higher costs, and its Disney Plus streaming service, and the company plans to cut marketing and their content budget. So some major changes going on there. They're trading down 8% this morning.
I saw that, and I was almost glad to hear you say they reported, because when I saw an 8% drop on Disney stock, I thought that was a reaction to DeSantis being reelected. Well, no, hey, that's an impact, and I think they might have been kind of cheering for a change in the governor's office, and it ain't going to happen.
No, definitely not going to happen. Hey, the other one we had was Affirm Holdings. Remember, they're the ones that they've kind of teamed up a lot with Amazon to do their buy now, pay later financing. They had a wider than expected quarterly loss. Mostly, I guess they were big with Peloton too. And so they saw a real fall off in the Peloton area of their business. They're getting whopped big today, down 13.3%.
Wow, when you can't even climb on Amazon back and look good, there's something weird going on in the economy, isn't there?
There is. And I've got not Amazon, AMC reported. We've talked about AMC a lot here in the last year and a half. But they reported a 22% loss, which was better than expected. They expected to lose about 26 cents a share. Revenue top consensus as well. They've been impacted by obviously soft box office results, and they don't expect it to get much better. So they're down 3.4% this morning. The last one I have for you, I finally found one, Dave, that would go the opposite direction.
Good.
Sprouts Farmers Market, and those are pretty neat little stores if you've been in one. There are a lot of organic stuff, a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, but it's a neat little place to go into. It's kind of a smaller store, but still a good place to go shopping. We've been into a couple of them in the bigger cities.
My wife used to love the place, and we lived near where there was a Sprouts.
Yeah. So, but they had better than expected results for the third quarter across the board. They also raised their full year forecast. They're benefiting from, we all have that big emphasis on health and wellness. So that consumer is continuing to grow, which is kind of some good news. They're actually up 8% this morning.
Cool. Nice to have nice to close off with some good news. Yesterday it was good news at the end of the day. The Dow was up by over 1%. S&P was up by over 0.5%. NASDAQ up by about 0.5%. Everybody figured they had a beat as to what was going on for the election, and then we got the results 45 minutes before they start selling stuff this morning for real. What are we looking at?
Well, they're selling the futures for sure. We've got the Dow down about a little over 0.4%. Now they say that that's a lot of Disney. Disney's putting a lot of pressure on the Dow. The S&P 500 is down about 0.4% as well, and the Nasdaq 100 is down almost 0.5% right now. The worst performer is the Russell 2000, down almost 1%. So we are going to have a red start to the day, it looks like to me. Silver, on the other hand, down 0.6%. Gold down 1/4. Crude oil is the only thing that's going the direction you and I like it to go, and it's down 0.8%, but it's way down compared to where it was yesterday morning. It's at $88.20 a barrel, and I think yesterday it was up over 92. So a nice little drop from them yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we were solidly over 90 at this hour yesterday morning. I know that. 91, 92 sticks in my mind, too. Overseas markets are looking at our election just the same way that our markets are. Asian Rim market for uniformly off at the close this morning at 6 a.m. European markets also off, but fractionally, like 1/4 to 0.5%. That's about the extent of it, 45 minutes before we trade, halfway through their day because of the time shift. Got to remind everybody, Friday's on. The weather is looking like we might have a little bit of rain and a breeze, but shredder day should be able to happen on Friday. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. We're trying to make sure we got everything lined up. We are going to close our office tomorrow, just because we don't want folks on the road coming to see us. So we're going to close the office for tomorrow, but we will be ready Friday morning, 10 to 2. If you'll come by, the shredder truck will be behind our office. If you come in off of Franklin Street, that's the best way to come in. We'll have places for you to park. We're going to have hot dogs. The donut truck will be here. So we're excited and looking forward to seeing everybody.
And that donut truck is really cool. If you haven't had donut envy yet, you ain't lived. They are really good donuts.
All right, man. Hey, I will talk to you again tomorrow morning and see you Friday.
Got you covered, my friend. Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Hey, hunker down, be ready for the storm. Don't do anything foolish. And we will talk to you again tomorrow, same time, same place, and hopefully see you on Friday. Until then, take care.